Senator Joe Manchin is missed by the Democrats. He's in the Senate over a decade. He's been serving West Virginia since I got in this business. And I wanted him to come in to help me understand what's going on with that party, what we saw the other night in that chamber, and what he makes of the administration thus far. Senator Joe Manchin joins me right now. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to be with you, Chris. Hope you're doing well. You look good. You look rested. Let's go.
Boy, you leave Thunderdome, you look like you're 30 years old all of a sudden. This is what happens, huh?
I feel like I'm 30 years younger, too.
So here's my question. Your party lost you because of what they were insisting on, and I believe we saw it the other night in how they handled the lack of decorum, how they handled that kid who everyone should have wanted to celebrate. What was your read on what is going on there and what it means about why you had to leave?
Well, it's so many reasons. Okay, we can get into the details, but let me just tell you, Chris, I kept thinking, my wife Gail and I were watching this, and we said, can you imagine if I was still there? I'd be the only one standing on that side if I was still caucusing with the Democrats. And I said, where have we gone as a nation? Only in Washington you see this type of inhumanity, disrespect, no decorum whatsoever. This is not America. It's not who we are. And the extremes on both sides are wrong. Hatred is the name of the game. You know, their business model is to make you afraid, so fear and hatred. And that's not who we are as this country. That's why I just couldn't be a Democrat any longer, you know, and the working person doesn't really know, are we there for them or not? But on top of that, it's just, can't they say I made a mistake? And what I mean by that, the border. It was wrong what the Biden administration did at the border. With that, maybe they had good reasons. They just miscalculated and made a mistake. Own up to it. And just say, listen, I want to work with my Republican friends now to basically to secure our border. I want to have legal immigration so we have people coming here to do the work that needs to be done. All these things they can do. I want to make sure that we get our financial house in order. We have basically $36.2 trillion of debt. And all I saw today on the television screen coming across was that the Doge report has saved $692. $692. Every man, woman, and child is responsible for $104,000 of debt. So you know what? You're $103,000 plus change short if you want to think you're really helping. No one's talking about that. That'll be the harm for our country if we don't get our financial house in order. Nobody's talking about it. And if you're going to have
We're talking about it.
Yeah. If you're going to have all these cuts,
We're talking about it.
Okay. If they're having these cuts.
Well, that's what I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the cuts, Joe. So I believe this is the opportunity for your old party, okay? You know that within the Republican ranks, there are still real conservatives there that don't want to extend those tax cuts and think that Doge's pennies on the pound that we're paying in debt service is going to get it done. They're going to want fiscal austerity that Trump probably doesn't want, but he's going to want his tax cuts extended. They're going to have to come to the Democrats, and there's an opportunity in that. Where should your party be looking to focus in bringing spending where it needs to be to make the budget make sense?
Well, the budget process is very convoluted and very few people can follow it, okay? And I think it was designed to be that way, and it's hard to explain it because you're into the weeds so much. But for 21 years, we have never balanced a budget. 21 years. And the 14 years I was there, we never even did basically a budget to where we're doing the whole appropriations. There's 12 appropriation bills. An appropriation bill we usually have for each segment of our society, whether it's health and human services, whether it's the defense, whatever it may be. And then you put all that together and you put your budget together. What you ought to be doing, Chris, is looking basically by the laws that we have passed in Washington. The budget's supposed to be done on certain days. So by the end of the fiscal year, you have a budget you vote on. We've never done that. You know what happens? They wait to the end of the year, and then four people's offices, the top four, control everything with an omnibus bill and throw this massive bill together. Everybody's wanting to go home for Christmas, and nobody knows what's in it. And we continue to just add on, pile on more debt. So when Donald Trump goes in there, he says, I'm going to change things. That's fine. People still supported him after his delivery Tuesday night. They were still supportive. They said, I like it. He took charge. Okay, he's out there. He's only been there 45 days. He is our president. He's my president. He's your president. He's every Democrat's president. Come on, guys. Get yourself in a posturing that I'm an American. I want my president to succeed, but be able to speak respectfully to truth to power. And if you're against something, make sure you have a reason why you're against it to make it better and be for something. Just don't be against it because somebody else on the other side's for it. That's the problem. And you can't get people talking about it anymore today. So I just said enough's enough. So I couldn't change it for 14 years inside. And I'm trying to tell people, they've weaponized the primary process, Chris. The primary process is if you don't do what I'm going to say, then 2026 I'm coming after you. Whether it be a Democrat or Republican, you're not Democrat enough, you're not Republican enough. This is wrong. We have to open these primaries up so the best person can survive and they can't get targeted by whether it be the president or the leadership of the Democrat or Republican Party.
Amen. Senator, you should run for office. Joe Manchin, thank you very much for saying what makes sense.
I'm going to help my friends truly get their minds back together. The purpose, you take an oath of office to defend and protect the Constitution. You don't work for anybody but the people that hired you. And I told Harry Reid one time, I said, Harry, you didn't hire me and you can't fire me. Okay? And I don't work for you. I work for the people of West Virginia and an oath to my Constitution. I want my friends to get that backbone. Know why your people from your respective state that love you voted for you. Okay? And do your job as an independent. As a third branch of government, do your job.
I love it. Joe Manchin, you're always welcome to be here. I miss you.
Well, I miss you too, Chris. So we're going to get together.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye.
We will.